What's going on, everybody? Welcome to today's video. Before I return the R34 GTR that I rented here in Tokyo, I wanted to give you guys a little overview, kind of a review, and point out some things on it. If this is your first video you're turning into, this is the R34 that I rented here in Tokyo to take to a car meet last night and just drive around today. The R34 GTR is an iconic car, as you all know. It's amazing, it's beautiful, it's powerful, it performs amazing in pretty much every aspect. But what is an R34 rental car like? Let's take a look at some of the things I've noticed. The interior is not terrible, but clearly not the nicest. People are getting in and out of this all the time, changing drivers and all that. Definitely some marks on the interior, some bubbles in this screen right here. Shift knob's pretty worn, but overall the interior is not terrible. The wheels, of course, curbed. All four of the wheels are curbed. That most likely comes from inexperienced drivers in Japan driving and kind of getting too close to the side of the road because it's right-hand drive. You're driving on the other side of the road, and it's just weird for people who aren't used to it. So every single wheel has been curbed. And factory R34 GTR wheels are not cheap. Chips, quite a few chips everywhere. The spoiler's got some in it. Some dings in the doors. Really, a lot of this could be any car of age, really. But I think if it was, you know, somebody's personal car, they would take a little bit better care of it. The front lips definitely been smashed into some curbs a little bit. Scrapes and some more chips up here. The GTR emblem is a little bit worn down. Another big one that they're gonna need to take care of soon is this rust bubbles I can see popping up in the fender right here. That's something that's gonna be a problem soon. And then take a look under the hood of this thing. This is definitely not the prettiest RB26 you've ever seen. Very dirty, definitely not cleaned up in here very often. The charge pipe's missing the little plaque thing that goes right there. It says twin turbo. It looks like they've been having some rust issues here too. Kind of some cover-up jobs. I think they're just kind of cutting a few corners when it comes to the rust. If this were back in Okinawa, I would take my rags and clean this thing up right now because it's just sad to see it like this, but don't really have anything here with me in Tokyo, so I guess she's gonna stay dirty until the owners can clean her up a little bit. Oh yes, and the kilometers this thing has on it. 222,080 kilometers. Quite a bit high mileage. Realistically though, that's, I mean, what, maybe 150,000, 160,000 miles. Not terrible, but definitely higher mileage, definitely been driven. These cars have no mileage restriction on them when you rent them. So overall, it's not the nicest taken care of R34 GTR I've ever seen. It's kind of expected though with a rental car. Even when you go to like the supercar rental places, those are some of the more ran down Lamborghinis, McLarens and stuff. Because they are rentals, people drive them and they don't give a crap about them really. But as far as the drivability goes for this thing, it was pretty awesome. I had no complaints driving around last night. Everything performance-wise seems pretty good. I didn't get on it a whole lot because it is a rental, it's not mine. I would feel kind of guilty doing that to a car like this. No issues last night. I had tons of fun, and I highly, highly, highly recommend you check out Omoshiro rental cars if you're ever in Tokyo, just because it makes the experience that much better driving something like this around. But it is getting about time for us to take this back. We still have a few hours with it, but I think I'm gonna take it back a little bit early just because we don't have a child seat. So that's one thing, if you are bringing your kids to Japan, normal rental car places, you can get a child seat, no problem. This place didn't offer it, so make sure you plan in advance, at least a couple weeks, so you can rent a child seat, because they do have places online you can do that. But with like 1 or 2 days notice, whenever I found out about this car rental place, I wasn't able to secure a child seat for Mason. So there's really not much we can do with it. Unfortunately, this time we won't be able to make our little road trip down to Mount Fuji. Maybe next time though. So for now, let's jump in, take this thing for a ride. I'm gonna try to go get some pictures of it with the water or Tokyo in the background or something before we return it. And we'll talk about it a little bit more while we're driving it. For drivability around town, it's awesome. It's way easier to drive than my car. The stock clutch in this thing makes it super easy to handle. Really no problem driving on these crowded little city streets. And once we get up on the expressway, it's just as fun and easy to drive up there. Even more fun really, just because you can open it up and really get to feel the beast. Way better than getting something basic from Nippon Rent-A-Car. When coming to Japan, also remember to set aside lots of money for toll booths if you're gonna be driving around. It does get expensive because there are a lot of them here around Tokyo. That toll was about $12, and that should get me almost to where I'm going, about 35 kilometers away. I might have to go through one more toll booth. This GPS getting around Tokyo really does not like to cooperate. All the highways, like I said last night, are above like regular roads usually. So it makes it really complicated for the GPS to understand exactly where you are. And now we're back down on City Street, so we'll probably have to pay another toll to get back on the toll road. If I knew my way around Tokyo, it wouldn't be a problem, but GPS is just not doing it for me. All right, I think we're back on track now, back on the toll road. Had to pay another $12 to get back on, but hopefully this time I can stay on it. This is a really cool part of the expressway right here along the water with all the buildings. I love the city views. Hopefully we can find a parking area or something to get some pictures. Beautiful views. Tokyo Sky Tree. Well, I found a parking area on the side of the expressway, but all the views are over there, so not really what I had in mind. I think we will probably just use the bathroom and press on to hopefully get a better view and do my last thoughts on the car, take a few pictures, and then get it back to the rental place. All right, so the city view just wasn't gonna happen. It's too crazy down there and there's nowhere to park. So we're out here in the wide open country, not very far from Tokyo at all, right by the rental car place. I'm about to gas it up and take it back, but I wanted to share my final thoughts on the rental car and if it was worth it. I would say, in my opinion, the R34 GTR is like the icon of everything that is JDM or everything that people think about when they think of tuners in Japan, and the Nissan Skyline, that's it. And the R34 is, even in the middle of nowhere, there's a car coming. And the R34 GTR was the last of the Skyline GTRs and the most technologically advanced one. Get out of here, weird mainland bugs. Weird looking grasshoppers. So was it worth it paying around $230 US to have it for 24 hours? I think so, just for the experience. You can't get that kind of adventurous night without having a cool rental car. Sure, the little Suzuki Wagon R got us around the first day when we had the rental car, but come on. If you're gonna do it and you're gonna hit up car meets and you wanna enjoy the Tokyo feel, rent something cool. The cars were a little bit dirty, and of course they had their flaws like I pointed out earlier. There was even some lights missing. I don't know if I mentioned that in this video. Some the corner lights right here missing, and half of the back tail light was either dim or just a little bit burnt out. I'm not exactly sure. But overall, it was an awesome experience and I totally recommend it. Omoshiro Rental Cars, check them out. They have a Facebook page. I'll keep all that in the description. In my opinion, for a car enthusiast in Tokyo visiting, it's a must. And if you're coming from the States, they accept international driver's license as well. So you'll be good to go there. All right, it's about time to go return this thing. I want to get down and hang out with the family for the last day in Tokyo. I'm gonna start her up, give her a couple revs for the camera, and then we're gonna end this video. So we have returned the car. Do one last look at the lineup of the other cars they have here. I know we did this yesterday, but still worth a shot with the other camera. The other R34, R33, Integra Type R, the GTT, the R32 GTR, a couple of nice looking R33s, the AE86, Toyota Supra. Lots of cool cars out here. The 3 S2000s over there. That might be my next one, I don't know. Definitely a really cool experience, and I definitely recommend Omoshiro Car Rental if you want to experience the Tokyo car scene the right way. Now that the car is returned, we're gonna walk back to the train, see if we see any cool cars on the way before I let you guys go and end the video. I hear an RB26. That is a beautiful R34. R34 and then an STI. Good spotting, good spotting. Oh, let's not forget the FD RX-7. That was 3 quick ones right there. Now we are just got off about an hour-long train ride. We're at the mall now, gonna meet up with Megan and Mason. I thought some of you might be interested in that though. So you have a jetpack.
Yep.
And it takes you to the moon.
Yes.
And what's on the moon?
Family.
Family Mart's on the moon.
I'm not going to the moon today.
Oh, okay. That kid is crazy. He could run circles for days. Stopped in a hobby zone. They have some interesting things here. Nice white R32. Also, Japanese classic car selection. Some initial D stuff. Well, I guess it's not really initial D, it's just the car. These look pretty interesting, but it says plastic model, so it's probably not the best quality. Yeah, you can kind of see there what they're gonna look like. I think I'm gonna pass up on it. Some pretty sweet cars here. A lot of these I already have, but I don't think I have an NSX, so I might grab that. Some more of the drifters, the tabletop drifters. I have a racetrack back here. Pretty crazy. They don't have any cars. That's what? It's about $190 for the racetrack. And then airsoft guns, pretty big in Japan. This little corner of the store is pretty awesome. Some model cars. And they have the R32. That one looks like our rental car earlier. And the initial D ones, that's awesome. There's the initial D R32, actually. Sylvia's, Evos, Evo 3s, mines, R34s. That is really cool. Pretty sweet. S2000. We decided to grab some food at the mall, and now we are back in Hirai where we are staying our final night. Random interesting fact about Japan is they have no open container laws, so you can drink wherever you want. We are back home now. Gonna do a little car racing. Mason's race car.
This race car his name is Turbo Speed.
Turbo Speed, look at him right there. And I got the Honda NSX.
And I got the Turbo Speed.
Yep. This NSX actually does look pretty cool, if it'll focus.
And
it's got the red seats in the interior, the white.
His name's Turbo Speed too.
The NSX license plate. Pretty cool one. I'll play with it for a minute and then put it back in the bag and never touch it again to keep it nice. So the video kind of went on a little further than I intended it to. I just wanted to keep it rolling for our last full day here in Tokyo and see if we spotted any cool cars. I really hope you guys have enjoyed this series of Tokyo. It's been extremely fun to shoot and extremely fun just hanging out up here, not being at work, which is amazing, and spending some good time with Megan and Mason. Tomorrow at 7 p.m. we head back to Okinawa, Japan, and we have about 11 more months there, and then we're gonna be going somewhere else. Who knows where? We'll have to wait and see.
Yes, right, Dada?
Right. You're silly. What the whole video was originally about, the rental car, the R34 GTR. Totally recommend it. Totally worth it.
And we bought the two cars. The white one is the car, and the rainbow one is a race car.
Right. So anyways, R34 GTR, totally worth it. Definitely do it. Omoshiro Rental Cars. If you're ever in Tokyo, hit them up and drive something cool around, at least for a day or two. Maybe not the whole time because it could get expensive, but at least on a Saturday night, rent one of their cars, take it down to Daikoku Futo, take it up to, I think you're not supposed to do mountain passes, but I mean, you could cruise through the mountains.
And mine has a turbo next to the exhaust so it can be faster than a white car.
Mason's car has a turbo next to the exhaust, so it can be faster than my car. I'll probably roll one more video tomorrow, depending on what we do, just as a last video here in Tokyo. And then we will resume normal operations in Okinawa. But for now, I got a race to win. So I'll see you guys very soon in the next video. And as always, thanks for watching.
Bye.